you show up.
Yeah.
So you should be good to go, Carla, pulling up. So go ahead and pull up where.
Are you finished
Oh.
about it, Liz?
I can close out of it for a little bit. She came back at NSF, so.
And we. Then you don't get to, on.
Open another screen.
I'll go find Liz.
You try to figure it out.
Come in and find her.
I should be able to, I don't know why.
Oh. Oh, did you? It's on my pencil tray in my kitchen, like on my special, like
Aw,
family things box. I think I took some.
okay. Hi.
I'm coming in, I'm just driving my briefcase.
Okay, it's fine.
Oh, I got to color. Together.
I don't know if I'm doing it right. I don't know if I'm doing it right or not.
They call it John Howell.
Yes.
How are you doing today?
Good, how are you?
Doing great. Tell you what. You will wait and sign that or you want to sign it?
I don't know, you gonna stay the whole time?
No, I'm gonna, as soon as you sign it.
No, why can't I bring up another screen? I don't know.
It might be because, I don't know, I think this is Edge, not Chrome, so it's gonna look a little different.
How did you do that?
I don't, it's on the wrong thing. I'll be on my side, use Edge. I'll just open it.
Okay, it's right there. Okay,
So now you'll have, here is gonna be whatever this is,
yeah,
and then and this Google bar is where you're. So here and here at the bottom.
okay,
Yeah.
okay.
So they're technically two separate right now. Sorry about that.
That's okay. No, no.
But yeah, I saw Google, so I was like, No, you're good. It's not you.
Okay, that's probably me.
Should I have my laptop open too to this?
You don't need to. I mean, it's entirely up to you.
I want to follow what you're doing, what you're doing. It's learning for me. And plus, if I unload it, that means I can't run out on you.
There you go. I'll grab it. You're staying.
Yes.
Brandy then.
No, I did, I just grabbed it. All right.
All right.
Do most people do this in person or do it remotely?
It's been varying. Yeah. There for a while, we were only doing it remotely.
I figured I wanted to come in and be a part of it, so.
I know, I think you get more out of it in person.
I don't know.
Yeah. You're welcome, no problem.
Yeah, had the pleasure of going in this morning, I live in Monroe. I had the pleasure of going ahead and going when I pay my property taxes,
Yeah, they are.
especially when you're brand new and something and not, you're receiving the cash.
Yes, yeah,
But
it's not fun.
Uncle Sam or,
And it
Uncle
wasn't
Monroe.
this time of year, you know?
well, I mean, I knew it was coming, you know. you just-
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. But I misread, I thought, I mean, it sounds terrible, I was going, you know, pretty much diffuse a little bit where I was gonna put my credit card because I read online it was only a $15 charge.
Ah,
And they
okay.
said, no, that's only a $15 charge if you pay through your checking account online, but you gotta pay 35 if you're in person. Or you're gonna pay 2.5% if you're using your credit card.
Oh, my gosh.
I wrote a check. She goes, well, do you wanna go home? I said, no, I don't have time to go home to save $3.
Yeah, yeah,
So I was like,
that's
okay,
crazy.
here we go. This is the season.
Hi, Cynthia.
Still mute.
Yeah. Yeah, I should. Good to go. Couple more minutes, we'll give people a couple more minutes. Start then.
But don't worry about it.
Do you have any transactions going or what? Okay.
Not yet, ready for it to happen.
I know, right? It's like,
Well, you know, the biggest thing for me is, you know, I'm trying to. I don't want to over organize, but I've got so many contacts,
good.
but I've got to weed them out. I mean, my database has just been. Loaded over the years, I've got
Yeah.
7,000,
Oh, do you really?
so I mean,
Wow.
You know, in the process of going through and really weeding out all the. True non-prospects.
Yeah,
And I'm not gonna over analyze it, you know, I mean, like,
right.
certain people I
There's-
know, boom, over
Yeah.
here.
Yeah,
And I'm building two databases, one I'm keeping still all those contacts, the other is just for this business.
yeah. Oh, good.
So that's, that's my goal.
Yeah,
That is my goal.
good. I'm gonna get my water, it's a little bit dry.
How long does this last?
Oh, 45 minutes to an hour.
I'm gonna go grab a quick soda out of the,
Oh, all right.
would you like one?
No, thank you. All right. We'll get started as soon as John comes back. And there it is.
And I am back, sorry about that.
That's all right.
Yeah, I got it.
Okay. Cynthia, I hope you can hear me. Just unmute yourself and let me know, or send me a chat or something. Otherwise, I'm gonna get started.
Or check him out.
Oh. Okay, good. All right. Okay, so obviously this is compliance orientation. So what I do is I check everybody's files. Once you submit them, and that's, I'm going to show you how to submit a file and for review. If they're not submitted, then I don't see them. And I'll tell you why. If you can look at these numbers here and submitted, there's 22 submitted right now. 14 have been resubmitted, and I check the changed as well. So just 3 have been changed. So notice how many are open. And I'm not going to check all those because these are ones that you've put documents in, but have not submitted them for review. So there's several times that I have to, when the check comes in, the commission check has come in, and I've got to find them. So you'll see them in the open. That means nobody's submitted them for review. So that's kind of a bad thing, because if there's something that needs to be corrected, you're going to have to go back to your buyer or seller after closing and get them to fix, get the document fixed. So make sure that you submit your documents, okay? So, and if you have any questions along the way, let me know. See if I can get this bigger, looks better. Ah, that's much better. Okay, so this is what I do. I go in here and here's one that says changed. So I'll go in and review it. And so you can see this one has been updated. So I would check that document for whatever was wrong with it. And if it's corrected, fine. If not, I will I'll correct it. Or I will send it back and have them correct it, okay? I was looking to see where my little notes were. Some of them have little notes that I've put. Like here. Can't see my notes right now, but if there's a note that you'll know exactly what's wrong with the document by looking right in this area of the placeholder. And
Will there be an action button that comes up beside the required button?
it'll look like a little dialogue box.
Okay,
If you hover over that, it'll say exactly what's wrong with the document and where it is, okay, that I do. I try to make sure I let you know, and then also you'll notice this little red dot here. That means there's a message. If it's for me specifically, I'll have a red dot here.
mhm,
Okay, so if you, once you go into command, always look, especially if you've already submitted your documents. Always look up here in command for a little red dot. Then there'll be a little red dot there if you have a message. If you do, just click on that. Right now, I don't have any messages. It'll say the message, what's wrong and what you need to do, okay? If there is a message, just click on the body of the message and it'll take you right to your opportunity. Okay. So, and then you can correct it from there. Okay. So that's easy. So look for that little red dot. Hopefully you get all approved and you won't have a little red dot. Oh, so that's it in a nutshell. If you want to look at the note here, this is Lynn gave them a note, direct deposit will be scheduled once the missing documents have been uploaded. So she was missing a bunch of documents.
mhm.
If there is something wrong with a document, let me see if I can find one that says there. If there's something wrong, there will be a little note. If it's missing, there won't be a note. So, you know, when you want to find them. I can't find any notes. Isn't that funny? Maybe they're not showing up on this screen or something. I don't exactly know. Well, here's one that says returned. Okay, so if it's returned, oh, here's the little dialogue box. She already, obviously,
Okay.
Good.
yeah. So that was already fixed. And then this one also was fixed. And she's telling me that she's replaced it. But if I have a note in there, it'll say what's wrong. So here, I returned this one because she put it in the wrong folder. Okay, so if you hover over it, it'll say this document belongs in the closed folder. So you would just click download it and then put it in the closed folder. How do you know it's in the closed folder? Because there is a placeholder that says agreement to amend.
Okay,
Okay. And you have others, you can add a document, okay? So all the files have their own placeholders. So obviously all of the listing documents would go in the listed folder.
mhm.
And then once it goes under contract, you'll put all the under contract documents in the under contract folder. Okay. And then once it closed, all the closed documents go in here. So if you're not sure, okay, if you look here and you say, oh, I need a agreement to amend or agreement to amend the document. Oh, there's no placeholder for that. Maybe it's in the closed folder and you'll see it. Oh, there it is. Okay. So then you'll know it goes in the closed folder. Notice on these documents, the requirements, when it says required, obviously that document is required.
Mhm.
Okay. Conditional, and once it's conditional or optional, Sabre usually has a little note here. If the listing is entered in MLS as coming soon, obviously you'll need a coming soon no-show form, okay? So if it's conditional, you can look at that little I guess information circle that it'll tell you why it's conditional, and when you will need it. Okay,
Okay.
so, all the ones that say required though are required. Okay, so it goes down. Down the list. And most of these down here, and then this, if you'll notice, it says additional documents. She's added these, obviously, some are in the wrong place, but she's added them to the folder. How did she do that? Let me skim it here. Up at the top of your, of all the placeholders are 3 big dots. If you click on those, you can add a document. So you would click here, name the document. Document type is not really important. I usually just click addendum or something like that. It's not, that doesn't affect me or your review. So once you have that document, then you either upload it, you can upload it from your computer. Okay, sometimes it would say DocuSign here, and then browse your files and attach them. Obviously, only PDF files. Okay. And you can attach them from there. That's the ones that aren't in DocuSign. You even if they are in DocuSign, I think you can. There's a drop down if it's appropriate that'll say DocuSign. Okay. And then once you do that, you hit save. Okay. Once you hit save, that will fall. It'll go all the way, scroll to all the way to the bottom of the list and put your document in, or it'll have the document in there. Okay. A lot of times people add, that's is in the under contract folder. With a copy of the checks. Copy of the checks are conditional only if you have touched them, if you handle the check. How do I know that? We don't. I don't. So I'm not too worried about the copies of the check, but I do need the receipt of that they've received it. Okay. So that one is approved. A lot of times this document for sure gets signed on separate pieces of paper. Okay, so you make a copy of this sheet of paper and the due diligence has been signed by the seller. You make another copy of that sheet of this is page 16 of the listing or the offer to purchase. And then the attorney signs for the earnest money. When that happens, you can either, if you know how to combine the files, combine the 2 documents, you can do it that way. Or a lot of times, if let's say you upload the due diligence acknowledgement, then you can add a document by this EM acknowledgement. Okay, and then upload that earnest money acknowledgement part of that form. And it'll scroll all the way to the bottom and I'll know to look for it, especially if they're not both here in this receipt. If they're not both here, I always scroll to the bottom to make sure you haven't uploaded it. If not, if it'll get denied, of course, if you don't have that, both of them in there. Okay, so lead-based paint is conditional, obviously, if the house was built prior to 1978. So just that's cut and dry. Do you guys have any questions on that one?
No.
No.
Okay, good. Once you have submitted now the go over here, working with real estate agents, the listing agreement working with real estate agent either for listing or buying, and either the listing agreement or the buyer's agency agreement are due. You can submit those within 3 days of the signed contract. And that's a law. They're supposed to be submitted within 3 days. So you're gonna submit them. Using, there'll be a button up here that says submit to MCA. Okay. And, just submit that. Now that will get denied, so you're gonna have, it'll say returned like this. Because not all the documents are in there. And what I'll say in my little note to you is the documents you submitted were approved, if they were approved. Submit the missing documents when required. So the others are due, don't, they're due at least 7 days before closing. And so that gives you a chance to fix anything that needs to be fixed or obtained before closing. Because it's so hard to get your client to sign anything or give you anything after closing, okay? Or to get it from the other agent. So that's why it's so important to submit for review before closing, okay? And make sure all your documents are signed. Once you upload them, sometimes when you upload them from DocuSign. DocuSign, and have you played with DocuSign? Yeah. Once you get them signed, the unsigned one stays in there. And then there's the signed one. So you'll have 2 or 3 forms of the same document in DocuSign. When you go to upload them to Command, you would pick, you're gonna attach files, it says from computer, because I don't have the access to them. But it'll choose DocuSign. If you choose DocuSign and then the Room Docs, I'm gonna go into, I have a listing. And I'll show you. This is, so anyway, so I haven't submitted this for review. But once you, if I attach a file from DocuSign, you have to select the Room Docs. That'll kind of connect it to the room that's in DocuSign, that's connected to this opportunity. Okay. And then it'll select. And then you can find the owners association, but remember to get the one that's signed. So this is signed and then signed again. So I know 2 people have signed that. Okay, here's one, it's not signed. So or it's only signed by 1 person. I don't want that one. So
How you know it's only signed by 1 person?
only 1 signed. This one says signed and then signed again.
Okay.
Okay. So, yeah, and then the property disclosures is signed. Signed, so everything that says signed, you want to put in there. Okay. Some of them only have 1 signed, it means we've signed them together, okay?
Okay.
So so what I do is I put them in there. And then just real quick, I'll click on it. And make sure it's the correct one. Yes, both signed, there's my name. And so that's, so I know that's correct. A lot of people just throw them in there and they threw one in that doesn't have both signatures. They don't have, especially with the offer to purchase, they don't have the seller or the buyer signed one. Okay, they just have the one-sided one. So make sure, just a real quick review of it, just click on that and make sure it's the one you wanted in there, okay? So any questions on that?
Once you've done that, this is everything ready to be submitted, is that correct?
Correct. Yeah.
Okay, so once you click that submit button that's up on top,
Mhm.
is that just virtually gonna eliminate those items, these these requests on this page?
No, this will stay the same. Once you submit it for review, that comes up on my queue.
Okay,
So nothing's changed on yours. Once I review it, you'll see either the accepted.
okay, your status,
Yeah,
okay, all right,
so that's what'll change on yours.
thank you.
Okay, nothing else. So that's what you do, your room docs, or if you have something that's not in DocuSign. Then you want to go through your computer. And then it'll say browse, and then you'll bring up your files and upload it from there, okay? Any questions on that part? But remember this button.
Submit to
Don't forget,
NC.
yes, yeah. That comes to me, that goes up on my queue. I'm not very far behind. So that's a good thing. Okay, no questions there. There are, let me show you, like this, the septic and sewer and water, if they're underlined, that means you can click on that and it brings up the blank document, which is really nice, because that means you can download it, and then you can upload it to DocuSign if you'd like, or you can print it out, fill it out, and
And upload
reload, and then upload it again.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this one is an important document. One of the ones that's required that you have to fill out, either if you're the listing agent or the buyer's agent. Okay, and then you have to verify. Sabre has gotten a lot of litigation stuff for the septic and sewer, meaning a lot of agents were just doing what the seller say, they're on
It's just a simple call to your local utility with the problem.
exactly, it is a simple call, yep. So all you have to do is call the utility company, or 311 if you're in Mecklenburg County, which is easy. If they have an HOA, call the HOA. If that indeed, if the city says, no, we don't have that, then call the HOA, because it's usually a community water and sewer connection. Or if it has a private septic, obviously, fill out only one of these, initial only one of these, either it's attached or you've requested a copy, then it's been obtained, or a copy is not available, but you have to put the name of who you spoke to
Mhm.
and what county, and
Agency
what
information,
date. Yeah. You have to do that because, we have to know you did your due diligence and, verified all that stuff. If you have a copy of their utility bill, obviously you can just attach that. So that's appropriate as well. Okay. So that's nice that these are blank copies that you can fill out, only the ones that are underlined. Now,
Okay.
these ones that say DS, that means they're in DocuSign. Okay.
Mhm.
So that's where you would get those forms. But the others, like this is a office form. So we don't need those all the time. Okay. I didn't put my MLS in there yet, but I will. So, that's that. Any questions on that?
Not that I can think of.
Okay. As far as, okay, once you're done, you have it under contract. And it's pretty close to closing. It's gonna go through, then you wanna click here for your offers and commissions. I'm not too familiar with I know you have to add an offer. Meaning, the offer that's accepted, you can put every offer you've had in here, and it's a good place to keep them all separate.
Do you add every offer here?
Yes,
Okay.
every offer you get on the property, you can add it here. The one that you are gonna close on is the one that you'll accept, okay? So once you accepted that offer. Oh, it says create an offer, okay, I'm not doing that. It'll say accept an offer, okay, so you press accept. And then there'll be two things come up and one says manage commissions. You'll click on that button and just fill out everything, according to, just follow the prompts on that. And then submit that. You have to submit it. A lot of people don't submit it. And then that queue goes to Lynn, where she'll create a number for you, and that's how you get paid. So this is an important part of the
Mhm.
whole transaction, because this is how you're gonna get paid. Okay,
Mhm.
so once it's pretty close to closing, not after closing, but at least 7 days before, then do your commission. And even if the offer, even if that didn't go through, you could always cancel that. So don't worry if you haven't. If you've done it and it fell through. Okay. So, once you go into a listing, make sure opportunity details, the opportunity name, make sure you put the address in here,
Mhm.
okay? That's how we find the opportunity. If you have a question about it and I need to find it, if you have the address of the property that's being sold or bought, it's much easier to find for us, okay? These little pencil marks, you can edit them, okay?
Okay. I have a question. So step 1 is to put your listing in.
Yeah, step 1 is to create the opportunity.
Okay.
So if I go back to mine. I would go into my contacts. Well, step 1 is you have to have them in here,
Right.
okay? That's the first step.
Mhm.
So once you have them in there, then you can click on it. I've got one opportunity for him. Sometimes it'll say no opportunity. So there's an opportunity. If it's a different one, let's say he wants to now sell this home, I
Mhm.
would create another opportunity.
Okay.
Okay, that's step 1. So if I click on this opportunity that I've already created, it'll bring me up to his opportunity.
Gotcha.
You create it. I don't know what that means. Okay, once you create it, then you go into your details and fill everything out that you can on here. And then go into documents. I don't use the buyer profile, but there's your documents.
Gotcha.
The consultation folder for all sales files, don't use it. I mean, you can put whatever you want in there, just don't submit it for review. Because it's unnecessary. Right now, this says South Carolina Disclosure of Brokerage Relationships. If I look in my under contract folder, it's there again. And this is the one that I'm gonna review, okay? So you put all your documents then, either from DocuSign or your computer, okay?
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
So if you, look at all those files we have, make sure you're picking the right one. This one obviously was a South Carolina sales file. If he happened to pick a new construction in South Carolina, I would pick new construction. Why? They're different because you probably won't use these so much as the North Carolina sales, or since this is a buyer, it's only going to show buyers stuff. The listing will show all the listing things, okay? But make sure you're picking the right one, especially if it's new construction. Simply because new construction has far less documents in it to work with than all of these things, okay? So if you pick that, then you're gonna have there's still the disclosure of brokerage relationships. You're gonna have the buyer's agency. You're gonna have a new construction contract or agreement. Then you're gonna have the wire fraud in South Carolina. Then you're gonna have a commission agreement and a copy of the check or the deposit receipt, okay? And that's it for new construction, and that's both North and South Carolina. That's all you need. So that's a far shorter list than having to go through all this or put documents in the wrong one. So that's really important because so many people don't pick that, and then it gets confusing for all parties.
So, so this is all buyer stuff. Is it different for sellers? Is it, I mean, what is the difference? This is my first meeting, so if I'm asking questions that have already been asked, I apologize.
Don't worry about it. That's-
Okay, but so you got a buyer's list of documents.
Yes.
Suppose you are the seller's agent. What is different that I would have to,
So in your opportunity, let me go back to my contacts. And we search. So I'll just pick this one. Okay, so let's say I have an opportunity. You're gonna pick, if I create an opportunity. Opportunity type right here is gonna be listing the buyer.
okay.
So if I click listing, all of the. So I'll just create, I don't know if I can do that without. It probably lets. Let me just print number in here. Okay, now my listing was created. Here, now it says see it listing. So now when you go click in it, all the listing stuff will come up. So, okay, so documents, now I have to pick a checklist. Okay, now all the listing stuff will come up.
Okay, gotcha.
Okay, so in that first part, when you do the type of opportunity, okay.
Okay,
So if it's a North Carolina sales, obviously, you usually don't list a new construction. And if you do, if you are listing a new construction, you would still pick the listing and sales checklist, okay?
okay, gotcha. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. So what if I would click this, now all those documents are populated, all those, not documents, but the placeholders are populated.
Okay.
And
And
that-
all of that's gonna come up regardless of what you submit. You just know what you need to submit based on the list here.
Exactly.
Okay,
This is the checklist. Okay, I need to have that. I need to have the listing agreement.
Okay,
I need
gotcha.
to have a property disclosure, okay? If it's a
Okay.
new construction, obviously, there's not, if you're listing a new construction, you won't have that.
All right, let's say we need that, can you scroll down just a little bit. Okay,
Keep going.
no. The exclusive right to sell agreement,
Uh-huh,
okay, you click on, how do you click on that to get that printed to make that happen,
you would click either browse from your computer,
right?
or if you have it from, I don't have DocuSign set up to go
Okay.
this through. If you have your documents in DocuSign, you'll click here and put
And
it.
that'll have it and then it'll populate it that way.
Yes,
Okay,
yeah,
okay, good.
yeah.
So I can have everything listed in DocuSign. That would make it easier for me, the agent, correct? The broker.
Yeah, I mean, you
Everything's
have,
already in DocuSign, right, the blanks,
yes,
okay.
yeah.
Oh, okay, okay.
So once you can't just have it in DocuSign, you have to bring it over here to Command. Because we can't
Okay.
keep DocuSign account. So you have to upload the documents from DocuSign into Command
Gotcha, okay,
for us to be able to see it.
okay.
Okay,
Cool. Yes,
yeah,
And then if you filled out everything properly to begin with, when you're creating this opportunity, then it's gonna already populate a lot of that document that you're pulling over from DocuSign. I'm just saying that since this is the first meeting.
exactly, yes, yes. Let me see if I can't get my,
appreciate you.
where am I supposed to go here? I don't remember where she said to go.
But she'll see this in the T1 meetings that she goes to, right?
Yeah, yes. I wish I could kind of get to,
Carla, I'm gonna come back again, so, I mean, I know I got some steps to get to this point. So if you don't find it, it's okay.
I found it.
Okay,
Oh. You know, all my computers have my email and all that up separate, you know, they automatically, so you forget the passwords.
oh, yeah, you got a Comic-Con. Oh,
Okay. Sorry. All right. So you have to switch it to room. I don't know why it comes up here. So here's all my documents. So in DocuSign, this is the details section. The more you can fill out here, the more your documents are gonna be populated with that.
okay,
So that's the less you'll have to fill out in the documents, the more that you have here. Does that make sense?
mm-hmm,
Okay. This is down here, you have, it goes completely, it goes a long way down. Because it's got the buyer, broker, buyer agent, and buyer agent 1. And so it goes buyer to buyer, so you have to just scroll to do the appropriate one, okay?
okay,
And then save those, so then when you go to documents, all those will already be populated.
okay, gotcha.
So this is what I mean by it's signed and it's signed, so you have to make sure you have the right one in there,
Okay,
okay? Here's the blank form,
Gotcha.
And then when, from the blank form, this is what Leah and Jules can help you with more than I can, because I'm not very good at DocuSign. I'll admit it. So anyway, all the documents are in here. If you want to add a document, in the DocuSign forms, they're all gonna come up here. Okay,
Okay.
you pick from here. This is our personal one. I really haven't, the title insurance selection form, the affiliated business disclosure, and the septic and sewer are all office documents that Sabre has put in for us.
They're all required,
These are, if you're a buyer, well, the septic and sewer for sure
yes.
is required for both. But these two are required for buyers.
Okay.
Okay. You could also find those documents in KWB resources. Have you explored that yet?
Not yet. Oh, the resources, yes, I started that, yes.
Have you, John? Yeah. Good. So this has a lot of information on it. Office resources,
Okay.
forms and
Forms and
checklists.
checklists, okay.
Yeah. And the password is capital B and then small letter AMC 350. Okay. And here's forms. Just like the checklist in Command that I showed you,
Mm-hmm.
there are ones that you can copy or print out, and because I like pencils. So I would use one of these. So if you have a buyer sale, if you click on that, first step, review within 3 days are these 3 documents.
Mhm.
Okay, and
Okay,
then here's the second step, at least 7 days before closing, all of these other documents.
okay, perfect.
Okay,
What did you say that password was?
capital B, and then small letter AMC 350.
Okay,
Okay, so that's the checklist, if any kind of checklist you need.
perfect.
And then here's general forms. And in here are, she's put in the sample, offer to purchase and professional services disclosures. That, and the offer to purchase, the ones that you need to send to your,
The buyer.
clients, yeah.
Mhm.
If you need a W-9, if you've done a referral, here's that.
Okay,
The other, here's the title. Well, that's not it here. The title, title insurance selection form and the affiliated business disclosure. Lot disclosure, if you're selling land, you need to fill that out. A referral form, here's the septic and sewer that you can download or, and then put it in. Obviously, if it's already in DocuSign, you don't need to do that. But yeah. And here's the working with real estate brochure that you should be sending to your clients.
okay,
Okay, so a lot of stuff can be found in here. Same with the South Carolina forms.
Mhm.
South Carolina forms, the main one that you have to worry about is the professional. Where is it? Here it is, professional services disclosure. Because in South Carolina, it's not a required document,
Mhm.
but Sabre wants it as a, this is an office document. So that needs to be,
Okay.
okay. Any questions on that?
No, thank you for that.
You're welcome. What else?
It's like everything, we just gotta get in there and play with them and get used to
Yep.
it and work with it.
Exactly.
Yep, exactly.
Cause I'm
And-
sure I'll have 1,000 questions next week.
Mm-hmm, me too.
I know, right? Yeah, once you get into everything,
Mhm.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
It's hard.
That checklist that you showed us, Kate, and resources.
Yes,
That just gives us our roadmap that what we need to follow for compliance on and send you.
sure,
Pretty
yes,
much, I mean, that's our roadmap.
yeah,
And if we
yeah,
get caught up on something, we can email you and say, hey, what does this mean, Carla?
exactly,
Okay,
definitely, you're, yeah.
okay, all right.
So, yeah, so it kind of replicates this, the required and conditional, all of those documents are in those checklists that I just showed you.
Right.
But, you know, these, it does, I don't know, it gives a little bit more of a visual that you've completed
I
everything.
didn't know that the underlying, for instance, that sample agency agreement
Yeah.
amendment. I did not realize that that was not a DocuSign document, but that just gives us the opportunity to download it. Right,
Right, well, the reason she put this in here is because a lot with this new clear cooperation thing that we've got going here in North Carolina. With the firm exclusive means that it's not gonna be advertised anywhere outside of this office. So you can do that. But then say, okay, now I want it to go live, I want it to be in the MLS. Well, you have to, now you have to terminate the firm exclusive agreement
Mhm.
and get into active then. So this is the wording, this shows wording on it that she would like you to have. So that's why she put the sample in there, because everybody kept saying, well, how do I do that? How do I terminate that? So this says, this is a sample, you can download this if you want to do that, the firm exclusive. And then terminate it later.
Mhm.
It's here, dated, the firm exclusive agreement dated this way, is hereby terminated and seller authorizes agent to enter the listing into the MLS. And then we have a marketing date of, this is now you're just changing, or amending the listing agreement.
Mhm.
So the reference listing agreement will be amended to add a marketing date of whatever in 10A. And they check the marketing options in 10B.
so the firm exclusive agreement, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
The firm exclusive agreement is just to say I have the listing, I have secured the listing.
Well, no, not necessarily. There are in 10A of your listing agreement, you could also put the date, when you secure the listing agreement is when the listing agreement is signed by both you and the client. That
Okay.
tells, that is the contract, okay?
Okay. So what's the purpose of this firm exclusive
Firm
agreement?
exclusive is, a lot of times if a agent or if a client does not want their property shown to anybody. You know, they don't want it to make it public that their house is listed for sale.
Okay,
Yeah, a lot, and it's for like, I think there's a lot of sports people around here, you know, and NASCAR people or whatever.
okay,
So, you know, it might be something like that.
gotcha.
You can also, so that's what firm exclusive is about.
Okay.
Carla, I have a question. Once it goes from firm exclusive to active,
Yes.
do we need to remove, what happens to the firm exclusive document in command?
Nothing. If you had originally put it as firm exclusive, then that firm exclusive document should be in command. And that needs to be signed by the broker in charge, of course.
Okay,
So
and
when
then once we go,
once it's off firm exclusive and you've decided to do that, I'm going to be looking for this document. The agency agreement renewal and or amendment. So you
Okay.
can check this, it's the listing agreement dated whatever date you had it signed, okay? Then you'll see that it was dated then, and then you terminated it. Okay. So that's what's going on. That's how you terminate the firm exclusive.
Okay,
Does that make sense?
it does, it does.
So that's gonna stay in your command. That's gonna stay in your opportunity. It doesn't
And
matter.
this,
Yeah.
and where is this document?
You can either get that off of, it's in DocuSign.
Okay,
This is just the sample, so the original one is. Here it is, form number 710.
7.
And with, when you see this DS, it means it's in DocuSign.
Okay, thank you so much.
Okay, you're welcome. Anybody have any questions on that? Okay. Let me, I'm gonna find a listing and I'm gonna show you what I mean by that, because this is a big one. I have to send this. This is one of the most common refusals or return documents that I have. And because of this, so he's got the listing agreement here. But if I go to page 5, see how this marketing date. So when you have a firm exclusive, this part is not filled out. Okay. And then this would be initial with the firm exclusive.
Okay.
Okay. Because obviously you're not doing any public marketing with a firm exclusive. Now, when are you gonna start marketing as firm exclusive in the office? You could put a date up here. That's your commencement of marketing date. Okay, so that's it for firm exclusive. Now, if you want to go, now, if you've changed it to coming soon or something, you don't need to do anything with this document, the original listing agreement. It's that agency agreement renewal or amendment that you're using. Okay? Does that make sense? I mean, it's just another document to change the wording on this one. Okay, now, if you're using, let's say you're going to go coming soon. Initially, not even, we're done with firm exclusive. We have another offer, or we have another listing that they want to do coming soon. So you're going to start marketing it as coming soon on whatever date, let's say today. So 12/20, you're listing it as coming soon. This date will go 12/20 will go right here in 10A. Now you're checking, you're initialing, having the your sellers initial public marketing. Then you're gonna check this box, and then the status of the listing shall be changed to active on which date? So let's say 12/27, you're gonna go live. So this date in the active is gonna be after the commencement of marketing.
Right.
Does that make sense? Because people get this confused all the time. I don't know why. If you're not using coming soon, then this date can be a later date than when you signed. So if you don't put any date in here, we're gonna assume that the listing will go live within 24 hours, because that's the rule of 9/18. So that's the rules of the canopy. You have to have the listing entered into MLS no later than 24 hours after the executed contract. Okay, so here's the date that the contract was executed, 9/18. If it's not, if you decided, oh, I don't want to start marketing it until 9/20, 9/25, let's say. Then in 10A,
That's what they've written on this contract.
yeah. They're not gonna start, they're not gonna do any marketing until 9/25, okay? So then that's fine. It's kind of like a delayed marketing.
But the key is you gotta get it to MLS within 24 hours, and then you can start your marketing whenever you want to.
No, if you have a date in here that's later than the date that this contract was signed,
Mhm.
then you have to put it into, oh my God. That means, you can put it into MLS on this date,
Okay.
okay?
I misunderstood that.
Yeah,
Okay.
so it's kind of like a delayed marketing.
Okay,
Okay, so you're not doing anything, you're not telling anybody, no marketing whatsoever until 9/25. Even though the contract was signed 9/18.
do we wait to put an MLS on that date, or can we go ahead and, if the contract was signed on the 18th, but we're gonna start on the 25th? We wait until the 25th to put it in the MLS, is that correct?
Yes,
Okay.
yes. Mhm,
All right, thank you.
okay. All right, so now. I would do this. I'm gonna look down here at the MLS. And I'm gonna make sure, oh, his marketing date matched what was on the listing agreement. Okay,
Okay,
so he's compliant. If this date's different than that date, then I return it and say they'd have to match, okay? If this date is, if he had a coming soon. This date then would match 10B. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
So if he had coming soon. This date. Right here. Would match
Mhm.
that date in the MLS. Because that's the active date. Any questions? So that's the main thing that's given everybody problems. Just don't initial both of these. I mean, you just have to read all of this. It's like initial public marketing or office exclusive, but not both.
Mhm.
So if you know your contracts, you have to know those in order to fill them out right, okay? The other thing in the listing agreement and in the offer to purchase now is this fuel tank. Make sure you fill that out because that's been another source of contention with MLS about not knowing if there's a fuel tank on the property and then discovering it later. So you just have to make sure that's filled out.
Okay.
Okay. Any other questions? Okay. If there's no other questions, I think we're done. Like I said, go to these classes. I'm here every day, Monday through Friday. You can let me know if you have any questions about anything. Your transaction group is important because they go through each document and how to fill it out. The forms class on Thursday is also good. Sabra does those and she is very detailed about these forms. So if you want to know them in and out, go to that class as well. Pardon?
Carla, I do have one question and maybe it's just more of a clarification.
Okay,
So when we have a farm exclusive and a listing agreement, when we're getting ready to go terminate the farm exclusive to do public marketing, We're
Okay,
just updating the amendment that you showed earlier.
yes.
Okay,
No need to go back through the,
listen agreement. Okay,
You're just gonna use that agreement to amend.
and that allows us to do whatever public marketing that we can.
Yes.
Okay,
Yep.
that we're allowed to. Okay,
Sure.
thank you so much.
You're welcome. Now, let me tell you, if you do it a South Carolina one, that's different.
Right.
Everything's different. South
I
Carolina.
know, South
Absolutely.
Carolina. Let me see if I can't find a South Carolina one real quick. Real quick, because it's just a little different. South Carolina wants you to they will, and I think this is a land one. They want you to strike through. So if this is a firm exclusive, say, you're still gonna, this date here, whether is gonna be the either one of two dates. If you're using coming soon, it will be the date that it goes coming soon. If you're going active, just going active without going coming soon, it's the active date. Okay,
Mhm.
so make sure that date's right. If you're, if you started with, firm exclusive and you wanna change it, there is none, that form doesn't exist in South Carolina. So you would go to number 28. Right here. And, put the date that you're changing it to,
From exclusive to active.
Yeah, to
Okay.
active, and do that same wording that's in there. The firm exclusive is hereby terminated on this date, and seller would like to add to, market it in MLS beginning whatever date.
Okay.
And if the coming soon, if they want coming soon, then you put that in there too.
Okay.
That's how you change the South Carolina stuff,
All right.
okay? So that was a quick one. Any questions?
No, I think I'm good. Thank
Okay.
you so much.
Like I said, if you have any questions, just come by the office and see me. Or send me an email or whatever, okay?
Perfect.
All right. Thank
Thank
you
you.
all.
All right, this is good.